Hey there, vulnerable moment. So, what I decided to do with this particular video is have a bit of, okay, in an effort, in an effort to be more vulnerable with my content, because I feel like looking through my content, I always give you guys like a surface level. I really never go really deep into what's going on with me or how I'm dealing with things. I might crack jokes every now and again, but I feel like I needed to explore this whole thing that I've been going through, what I've been experiencing, and hopefully this is something that can help you too if you experienced it. But I'll call it a content rut. That's what I've gone through. Content rut is when you actually feel as though a content rut is similar to writer's block, right? So instead of writer's block, you have a content rut. And what a content rut is where your brain just kind of shuts down. Like you don't have any creative ideas. I was like, I'll speak for myself. I felt like I just couldn't record a video. I really just didn't have the energy to put together any type of content. And I really got to a point where I'm like, is this even what I want to do? Am I doing this for not, right? Like, why am I doing this? And is this even valuable to people? Are people even learning anything? Like, am I even contributing to society with my videos? Like, what is going on with my life? I decided that I was just going to take a break from everything. And I didn't really take a break because I still have to do client work. So it wasn't really a break like that. I didn't record a video. I didn't record a podcast episode. I didn't write a blog. Well, I don't write blogs, but So it kind of like hit me when I got there that I really needed to do some deep reflection and figure out how I wanted to serve, who I wanted to serve, what I wanted to do, and all that good stuff. And I was just in that feeling. And some of that I will say is definitely due to the times that we're in right now and the fact that my kids are at home and I don't really have the time where I was doing a lot of the creating when they were gone, right? They were at school. So I had at least those, 4 hours or so, because my youngest went for like half a day. I had those couple of hours. My head is like itching, so sorry guys. I had those couple of hours where I could just sit down and I can be creative and I can kind of be in my zone. Or even when they came home from school, I could like fix dinner or do whatever, right? And, put them to bed, and then I could be in the zone again. And I really wasn't getting that zone time at all. I have not been getting that zone time at all. It's been a constant, Mom, give me this. Mom, give me that. Mom, what's 2 + 2? Mom, I don't know how to spell this word. Mom, when are you going to do this? Mom, I can't see. My son was like, oh, it's blurry. I'm like, oh boy, now I got to make him a doctor's appointment. Oh, I feel sick. My kid in Texas. I'm feeling sick and I think I might have COVID. So like, oh my God. It's like all of those things that are happening. And I just was like, okay. So needless to say, your girl just needed a minute. I sat down and I just started to go through, and I actually took my own advice, right? I did something that I tell a lot of my clients to do when we're creating content is go back into your life. I sat down and I went through like pictures and like just looked at things that I used to do just naturally before I became an adult. And I became an adult early because I had gotten pregnant when I was 17. So I became an adult early on in my life. So I started to just look at things that I used to do naturally without having any other interference, without having people talk to me, tell me, media messages, just everything that, just comes into your life and truthfully deters you off the path because of somebody said, did, whatever. There's a free personality test. It's called the 16personalities.com. And I think you all should take it. It's definitely something that I gave to myself. And after I did it, I gave it to my son so I can just kind of learn a little bit more about him and things that he does. But it really started to show me ways in which I work. And I realized that I don't like repetition. I don't like things I have to do over and over and over again. I like everything to be fresh and new. I like to stay bubbly and I like to help people and everything, but I usually do that to my own detriment. So for you, I wanted to explain to you all, if you're feeling like you may be in a content run and maybe something a bit deeper than that, it could be also too that you need to make sure that you're contributing and that you're doing what you need to do. For me, not knowing if I was contributing to a larger part of the world and things, that's what kept me stuck. And that's where I started to feel like, because I wasn't clear on who I was serving and what I should do, right? And once I got clear on that, I'm making videos like this. I also decided that I would start to vlog a lot more and just start to talk to you guys about things that I come up against or things that I experience and conversations that I'm having, things that I feel like that are useful to you all, in ways in which I can help you all through my own personal journey. Through that, I also went through a couple of different programs in which I found some really, number one, I realized by going through other people's programs, you can really understand that you know a lot more than you think you do. But then also too, it helped me understand and recognize once again that I know a lot more than I give myself credit for, and that my mind space and the headspace that I'm in is a lot further than a lot of other people. And I think, and that's what brings the value, right? That is what is valuable. So with that all being said, I've decided to switch up the podcast, so those changes are going to come. I've decided to implement a couple of other things in the way that I'm putting out digital content. I've decided to separate my how-to store from my personal brand and build out the personal brand on more of the wellness and life and in business, and talk more about that balancing and me balancing all of that, and leave the how-to store to be my creative station where I can show people how to do amazing things online and what tools they should use to do those amazing things. So it's really just coming full circle in that. So I say all of this to you to say that if you are in a content rut, and if you're feeling like you don't know who you should be talking to, or you don't know what content to create and all that good stuff, you may possibly just have an incident where you need to just seek that training, but then it also may be something a bit deeper. But I really suggest that you guys go take a look at the 16personalities.com quiz. If you don't know yourself, it's really hard for you to create any kind of content for anybody else, because first and foremost, you have to know what you like, what you're doing. And yes, you do need to serve the audience, but it also needs to be that happy medium where you meet in the middle, where you're doing what you love, but you're also serving the people who want to see what you have, right? And so those two mesh together, and then you have the two that come together to create the things that you, and the messages that, and the stories that you tell, right? Because you can't tell the message, you can't get the message out there and tell the stories if you don't know what they are. So you really need to define who you're speaking to, what it is that you're doing. And we hear that all the time, our avatar and our audience, yada, yada, yada. But you also need to know deeply who you are in order to be able to create that stuff, because it takes a lot of courage to get out here and make a video, create a podcast, to do anything, right? It takes a lot of courage. It really is about understanding who you are, how you serve, how you show up, how you best show up, what you need in order to create this stuff, right? What you need in order to make this video, podcast, blog, if you blog, because I don't, book, whatever it is that you're creating. What do you need to create that? How do you need to show up in order to create that? And then the people that are on a receiving end, what do you need to say to them so that they can receive it and actually take it in and do something with it and actually apply it to their own lives or to their business, or to whatever it is that you are helping them do and helping them get to where they want to go, right? I think we all have value, and I always say that we all are producers, right? We're all here to produce, and the producer is the person that has the final say on the film, right? And the film is of your life. So you really need to make sure that you are listening to that, and you're taking a moment to understand what it is that you need in order to create the things that other people need, and that your life is of value to other people in this world. And you can't do that without first knowing yourself. Moving forward, some of the things that you can do in your own life, and some of the things that I've done is I went and I got some books. I got The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. What I did is I went and I picked up a couple of different books. I started to really devolve into reading my Bible a lot more and doing a lot of prayer. And instead of trying to guide myself, I asked God what he wanted me to do. And what is it that you need me to do? How do you need me to show up and let your will be done and not my own will? I think I was trying to force a lot of things to happen. And when you try to force a lot of things to happen, what ends up happening is really nothing. You end up just getting frustrated and upset because you're trying to force something that really shouldn't be. And when you try to force something that really shouldn't be, and then it actually happens, and then you feel like, oh, I don't like this. That's not what I want. And it's like, yeah, God is like, yeah, I told you. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You didn't want to listen. So really take a moment, take a deep breath, understand that you are not in control of anything. And when you try to control and try to make things happen the way that you want them to happen, that's ultimately when you have the biggest struggle, not only externally, but internally as well. My name is Jessica. I go by Joss Speaks Digital. I hope this is helpful and useful to you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you just want to tell me how dope I am for making this video, go ahead and comment down below, and I will see you guys all soon. Wish you wellness in life and in business. Peace.